That's okay.
Thank you.
That's good.
Imagine a crowded auditorium full of people just expecting a great time. In the center of the stage is a piano, and out comes an old, decrepit man who's plagued by Parkinson's. His uncontrollable ticking and his twitches. He's barely able to make it to the piano in the center of the stage. As he finally sits down, he begins to play. It's obvious to see that his Parkinson's disease, the effects have obviously been diminished. I found that this power, his newfound power in his health, actually comes from the piano, playing music. As a musician myself for the last 4 years, I've dedicated myself to learning and experiencing the power of instruments and music in itself. I've studied through multiple sources as well as personal experience the effects and power of music. The power and influence of music is described and exhibited in many places, such as the Bible, culture, and even in medicine. As for the Bible, music is a great source of power. Actually, Lucifer, Satan, was actually charged with praise and worship in heaven before he was cast out. This may give insight to why he was so powerful. He had such influence over angels that he was able to convince them to rebel against God, that they all knew how powerful, knew his power. But with his music and his influence, he was able to turn them. Also, in the Bible, Cain's son Lamech was one of the first humans to declare full independence from God. He named all 3 of his sons after powers of man, and he named one of them Jubal, which means to carry, and it said that his sons were the ones who play the harp and flute. He sets a good example of how music can carry people. I mean, you look at paintings from Revolutionary Wars or Civil Wars, and you always see someone playing the drums, or maybe a piper playing the flute. Music is able to uplift and carry us as human beings. Also, music has had great effects on society. One of the earliest known quotes about the power of music and the influence of music on society was actually said by Plato, the famous Greek philosopher. He said, "For the introduction of a new kind of music must be shunned as imperiling the whole state, since styles of music are never disturbed without affecting the most important political institutions." Now, Plato said this 1,500 years before rock and roll came about. He knew the power of music could actually shape politics and the government to its core. This can be seen in modern times through artists such as Bob Dylan, who were able to influence society in an anti-war campaign through his music. Also, other rock and roll icons such as Elvis Presley and rock and roll musicians like that, The Clash, have inspired a social movement among youth culture to rebel against whatever they choose to. Music must be recognized as an art, and that art has always been a driving factor in social society, such as change in appearance, inspiration in attitude, and a sense of uniformity in a group. One may not know how much music affects them, but I know famous opera singer Irene Guberud says, "As a very young child, I experienced who I was through sound. I felt whole." A lot of people find their sources of identity through music. Now, the power of music can also be seen in its main medical purposes. Oliver Jacks, a famed writer for Brain and featured in the Oxford Journals, has done some research, and he's found out that music therapy has been used to cure arrhythmia in the heart, dementia, Alzheimer's, and progressive aphasia. The human body reacts to music and is able to heal itself in different ways. Now, looking back on this man, his name is Luke Foss, and he's been heralded as one of the greatest American composers of all time. Now, you can see by his example that music can do miraculous things on a large scale, But think of it at a small scale, on a personal level. You know, what pace do you walk? What are the names of your iTunes and Spotify playlists? How does music make you feel? Now, the power of music is very influential. I think it's very important as an audience to understand its influence.